Hello everyone, welcome back to Laser Penguin Games. Today we're going to be taking a look at a summon necromancer in Diablo 2 MXL Sigma. And let's go ahead and start with the skills. So we're not going to have a lot of extra points really left over in this one. I'm going to be going to the reward page first here and maxing out Rathmas Chosen. And I did not put any points in anything else on this page. We just don't have the extra points. Nothing in the mouse, melee, and crossbow. And then for the totem support and summon, on the support tree, I'm going to max out embalming. Put one in sacrifices, one in death pact, one in bane, and one in death ward. See, that's my extra point I ended up putting there at the end. I maxed out blood skeletons. Put one in nighthawks. Maxed out abyss knight. Put one iron golem and maxed out resurgence. And then basically I had that 1 point left over, and you can really pretty much decide what you want to do with it. You can drop it in death ward like I did for a little bit of extra defense, or you could put an iron golem, nighthawks, or even bane if you want to. Just depends where you are when you have extra points too. If you need more defense or not, or if you need more damage, maybe you want to put in nighthawks, or if you want your golem to be built a little bit more tankier. But we're going to be resummoning so often that the golem doesn't really matter, and he's kind of annoying to resummon if he dies because you need a item to summon him every time. Although that would be a different build where you kind of go all in on the golem and make like a massive HP pool for him. He already has almost 300k HP for me with only 1 point, so I'm assuming you could get him pretty high up there. Okay, so then we're going to go take a look at stat points here. I just put barely enough strength in to wear my gear. Same with dexterity because I do have a dex-based helmet and shield. And then I end up dropping the rest in vitality, energy. I pretty much already had enough mana. You're not really going to be short. Most of the time you just summon in town anyway, and then it's kind of maintenance while you're actually fighting stuff. Okay, for gear here, so also I went with a build more geared towards the skeletons and the abyss knights, which are casters, and then I'm going to be picking up like a bunch of other extra summons as well throughout my gear. So for the weapon, I went with Doomguard, which is 2 magic runes, and you can keep rolling it. Some of the rolls I got on some of the gear are not the best. Also you can just keep going until you get better. Like you see here, I got Mythal too, which is going to be a nice add-on to help our casters do more damage to certain targets that our skeletons cannot hurt very much. But this is going to have up to 3 necro skills, and then just a ton of minion damage and life, and a bit of extra resistance on it as well. Our shield is just going to be crafted. There is a decent one you can make with Cur Rune that gives you an extra few like the barbarian summons, but in the end I just found it just didn't give me enough stats, and I wanted more skills and more actual minion stats, so I went crafted there. For the helmet, I'm using Rathmas Blessing. It's just going to be up to $3 skills on this one, and this one's going to give up to 28 to summon Sinner, so mine's not very good on that stat at all. I think it's 16 to 28 or something like that. Mine's only 20, but it's also going to give us much more minion stats that we need, and a little bit of cold absorb as well. Now I can show, yes, the jewels in the shield. The other ones are also just runes. These are just the cold runes, ice runes, and the magic runes for an amulet. Basically just found like a decent +3 to all skills with some nice summon on and life on it, and I luckied it and added a bunch of like, or added some orbs to it, like a monster orb too. You can see it's got shock beast and stuff, but they're kind of they're kind of really bad. So, but it is still nice to get the extra minion stats. So for that, for rings, I'm using 2 Nibble rings. Unfortunately, I didn't get the lucky bonus on either of them. And then I added minion damage because I think I had enough life already. This is going to give us just extra life defense, physical resist. I'm using a crafted belt, but I believe the Lazarus belt is a decent option for this. I just don't have one, so I am wearing the Lazarus armor, so it's a nice combo to wear the belt and the armor together. This gives like a ton of minion damage and life as well, and the 2-piece set bonus will give you an extra 50% minion damage and 25 to summon minion resist as well. So if I did have the belt, I would probably be using it, but for now, I just have the crafted one, which is also giving me a lot of bonus stats as well for minion damage. For boots, you can get the Necro skills here on crafted boots, so I'll show you guys the jewels. Oh, I guess I have one of the Katamari jewels in here. So also, you can try to make a lot of Katamari jewels, or you can just craft summon damage jewels like I did, which I filled up the armor as well. And the boots here, another Katamari jewel in there. And mostly just crafted jewels. Tried to get just minion damage and extra life on any other stats I could get. Now for the gloves, this is a kind of a weird one because there is a Zis runeword version of these gloves. But also they're going to come in at level 120, which really doesn't help you that much. The +1 skills and I think 25% more minion damage coming in at level 120, whereas I think these ones came in at level 69 because of the Zod rune. And I was able to add just a ton more orbs to that. So it's pretty close to the actual, probably even better than having this one. And also you get to reroll it a few times too, but I don't think the stats change much on these ones. And using crafted gloves would probably be just fine for this as well. Like the bonus 2 Necro skills is okay, but you really don't need it. I could have way more minion damage and like life instead, and some other stats, but for now it's okay, and it's kind of, it's guaranteed to be what you need. For the offhand, now this is gonna be weird. Let's change weapons here. Okay, so you have a few options here. Just have some random runes in here, don't worry about it. I guess, oh, you can see the jewels in the gloves as well for a second. But this gives Overlord, and you can have the option for that. Also, you need a shrine crafted necromancer staff to find this. So there's Overlord, and then there's On 4. So they're both really good for a summoner. What the Overlord does is you summon it. Okay, so you're gonna get this little buff aura, and you're gonna get this kind of demon minion that looks a bit like Izul, and it's gonna let you summon an extra of each of the necromancer minions, not the other ones, which is a little bit weird for sure. As you can see, we have all kinds of different minions here, but anything that's actually just a necromancer minion, it's gonna let us summon more. So, but it won't let you do it in town. So the effect does not work in town. So, and then as soon as this guy dies, but he's got a decent hit point pool. If we take a look here, for me anyway, he's got about 173k HP. So, and you can just switch weapons to resummon. So that's a cool thing you get with this. So I guess we can go test it for a second here. You can see. But the regular max for skeletons I have right now, because the level would be 10, but now it's going to let me get an 11th skeleton. Same thing with my Abyssal Knights here. So that is going to cap out at 6 for me, but since I have the buff now, I'm able to get 7. And then it will work for the Hawks as well, giving me an extra to 5 instead of 4. And that's pretty much it. So the rest of them is not going to work. My summon sinners is going to cap it at 5 and it's not going to increase. And the shock beasts, which are terrible, you'll see here, look. So if it almost feels like they're just not even getting the bonuses from all my stats because they only have 10k HP, which is pathetic. Even the sinners don't seem like they're doing great. They're only getting 30k HP, but they're doing, you know, up to 5.6k damage. But the thing you're really getting from the sinner is the minion spell damage bonus, which is like 741%, which is going to give that to all your abyss knights, and that's just going to crank their damage like a huge amount. So the sinners are more buffing than anything else, but they're still, you know, you're still going to get close to 30k damage from them while they're alive as well. But they do die quick because the 30k. But the jungle beasts, you'll find that they're just like, you get up to 15 of them, but they all die in one hit. They're pretty much useless. So, I mean, I had 2 monster balls on the amulet to get them level 10, and I guess I only have like an extra +5 to all skills that aren't necro skills, so it's only level 15. But even then, like, you would think with, let's see here, so I have 808% more life to my minions and 1483% damage right now. The minions, and that's all they're doing. They're not even doing. They're doing like 900 damage. They're so bad. Okay, so that's the first secondary weapon. Now I'm going to show you guys the other one. So this one actually does need knee runes. This Hon 4, so that's going to help. And with this one, it's basically, I think I showed it in one of my other videos, but I wasn't actually using it because there was no point. But for now, basically what you're going to do is you cast it on yourself, and then while it's up, you can, I didn't want to move there, but basically it's going to increase the damage of your summons by 200% that you summon while up. So right now you'll see it's doing about 16,225, but if I buff and stand in it, now you'll see it's doing 18.25k, and I can just summon them up and then drop another, you can drop a few of them around you, kind of helps. And then you can summon all your summons with higher damage that way. Obviously, it's not the greatest while you're in the middle of a fight, but you can still use it for sure. But you'll also notice that obviously when you take off the other staff, then you end up losing the bonus summons. So basically you're going to have to decide if you want the Overlord for the extra few summons, or if you want to try to be summoning increased damage per minion with Hon 4. I don't know, I kind of prefer the Overlord, just because I don't really have to watch it as much, and you kind of can just switch cast it. I think overall the Hon 4 is probably stronger, and I can get a higher level too. I guess it would just last longer though. But those are your options for, that I've seen anyway, for good offhands. Let's go to town and we'll go to Fots and maybe Town. We can get there. Let me crack it open. Obviously, I do have Bane here, which is going to curse enemies and lower their physical resistance, because we do have the most amount of physical damage. But we do have Mythal. Because of our wand, we also have Mythal, which I haven't even hotkeyed right now, and this is also going to help our caster damage even more. So, depending on what you're fighting, you just need to know what kind of resists, what's going to do more damage. If your physical is doing more damage, you can also debuff with both, I think, but I just like to hold the Bane up because I'm usually summoning more so the Blood Skeletons, because the Abyss Knights are going to cost a little bit more. Basically, you just want to summon them out in front, and then I do have like 19k HP right now, so I have a decent amount of HP. But in Fots anyway, everything's just going to pierce. Obviously, I added all minion orbs to my gear as well. And let's see if we can. I like to just summon ahead and then try to stay away from all the pierce damage. And you can keep this centers up as well to get your extra damage. Minions aren't very aggressive, so you really got to summon them where you want. And then also, as a bonus necromancer skill, you also have the teleport. So you can teleport to one of your minions and carry all the other minions with you. So if you're like on a boss and you want all your minions to actually focus the boss instead of attacking the invincible minions everywhere, you're gonna need the teleport around, or else your minions are gonna do some dumb shit. You can see here that my minions don't want to go in and start fighting. I have to push them. It's pretty frustrating. And everything attacking any of my minions, because it's other areas aren't so bad, but Fots in particular, because of all the piercing damage through it, just your minions don't block any of the hits. Like even the Overlord keeps dying because all the pierce damage keeps coming through. Alright, Sinners. And obviously, the Bane you have to cast on one of your minions, and then you'll see the red Nova come out and basically curse with amp damage. To get some more potions, because it took me a while to get through that little area with my minions not going through. You want to kill the harpies, I'll see. I'm going to try to summon the Abyssal Knights to shoot them. Yeah, I'll just go take out the dragon. You got a club. We're going to grab a few pots though, come back. I'm a Demon Lord. Get back in there. Very hard. I don't know. You can also summon some extra hawks as well for more damage. They kind of do like a AoE attack. Most of the time I end up just summoning the skeletons because they have so much more HP and stuff, and the hawks you gotta just keep resummoning over and over anyway. It's not bad on like a boss or anything like that, but I usually don't even bother. That's a different build too. You can do different summon builds with the Necro. This is also the one I chose. But there's like a Veil King you can do, but if it dies, it turns on you. So that's kind of awkward. You can go with the Golem, but it's only one, right? Like, it has a big regeneration, but I mean, I'm summoning new units faster than the Golem would replenish its life anyway. So I'm like, and plus you need like the item to be able to resummon the Golem. I don't want to get hit by that splash damage. The minions do end up backing off a lot. Trying to get them to attack these minions. Now I'm gonna debuff. That's a lot of necrobots up there. I think they're taking them down. That's pretty good. I'll do one more quick potion refill and then we'll go kill the dragon.
How may I be of help?
I don't want to gossip. Not now, Mala. Okay. So we're ready. We got our extra minions. And we're just gonna summon ahead and let them tank. The further you can summon, the more mobs you're just gonna pull out. Also, you can hit them with the curse as well. Looks like our sinners all went down and get some new ones. I guess the nice thing about the Han 4 buff too is that it gives you a lot more mana regen. But I think I already have enough. I don't really have to worry about getting attacked too much here as long as I summon out in front. And there's the dragon. We're going to go ahead and debuff hopefully here. We're going to take him down. Maybe we can... if we upgrade that dragon claw. Looks good. Not too bad actually. It's gonna give us 50% more minion resistance, which is nice. Also, I already have one of them. But that's pretty much it for this Necro. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Hello everyone who made it to the end of the video. This is LaserPan Games, reminding you to smash that like button, leave a comment below, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It really helps out. And if you're looking for even more content, check out my Patreon here, where I post exclusive video content every month, and you'll have access to all of that.